Obviously there's just been riots all over UK and stuff recently. What do you think about all that?
It's far right looking for excuses to riot. I think it's unjust. I think it's a bit nuts, all a bit obscene.
It's really unsettling, to be honest. It's all over misinformation, and when you go online, when everything's been debunked, there's still comments going, they're not locking these people away.
Good. The government needs to understand that we British people, we want our rights and stuff. If people are coming into this country, find out the British values, get to know people like British people and learn the language. Don't make it your own place and everything. Follow the British rules and stuff. This is England, not where you come from.
You mentioned about British values. What do you think the British values are?
I don't think people remembers any British values no more because of these foreign people that come over and they've just been watching them like the way they are, walking on the street like if they're on the streets and stuff.
There's a lot of tension around. The way the riots went, it went over the top. But the name of the game is you got to start somewhere, but the way it ended up was wrong. There should have been a better way, or there should have been a way of talk.
When riots happen, they only happen because something needs to change. That's the only reason that riots happen, because something needs to change in the country.
I think both sides of that argument just really need to listen to each other. I think from both sides there's good points, right?
How do you think they resolve it?
I don't think they're gonna resolve it, but I think it starts with the leadership in this country bringing people from both sides to the table.
Anybody should be allowed to protest as long as you're doing it peacefully. And I don't think you need the government's permission to protest if you want to protest.
Absolutely not needed. I feel like people can go about it in a better way. You don't have to ruin this place or other places. What's the point?
I think it's a policy of divide and conquer. Whenever there's a demonstration in this country, what we hear on the media and from the government is these people are violent, or they're conspiracy theorists, or they are right-wing. But never do we actually hear what the debate is about. So I think it's about keeping the population divided and distracted, whilst tyrannical policies are brought in that take away every single citizen's civil liberties and rights.
A lot of people understand why people are angry in this country. They've pretty much been sold out by every big company and mostly by the rules of the country. You can't really do much about that because if the rules are in your favour, you're going to play the rules. If the rules are not in your favour, you're going to be pissed off. And at the end of the day, the rules aren't in our favour.
We want people to come over and respect the country, not make it as their own country. We don't want more people to come over. We've got enough. I mean, if you look around this, you've got more coloured people than white people. And this is their country. And it's not fair for British people to live like this.
The reason why you have illegal immigrants coming over is because of issues that the UK has caused and issues that the UK helps to fund. You create problems for people and then you complain about someone needing asylum. I'll be honest, I don't think there's not room for people. I don't think there is an issue. It doesn't really have a big effect on the overall population in the grand scheme of things. I think it's people not knowing where to put their anger.
It's for everyone really, because in America there's always Indian Americans and Indian blacks and this, that, the other. So I think it's fair for anyone to be wherever they want.
We shouldn't say that people should go where they come from. Everyone got the reason why they're here. I know some are genuine, some are not, but it's up to the government to deal with it. So it should be peaceful. We should love each other. Whatever country we are from, and people seek asylum, they've got a reason why. We have to respect people. We are human beings.
I don't feel like our families, and anyone I know has ever been like, oh yeah, I am actually personally affected by immigration. I've never felt like no one's ever come up to me like, oh, I can't get a job. It's just that ridiculous one.
The people that have attacked me the most in my life have been old white men.
Yeah,
old
literally.
White men.
I've felt more unsafe by white men down the street than I have ever really immigration.
Now I'm a British Muslim born here in the UK. I think there's a big immigration problem. I think 1.5 million net immigration, official Home Office statistics in the last 2 years, is excessive. I'm seeing the impacts of that in my local community here in Smallheath in Birmingham. Well, am I racist for bringing that up? Am I anti-science if I say, as a scientist, as an academic, that I don't think there's a climate emergency or carbon dioxide is a bad gas? Am I anti-Semitic if I say our government is supporting a genocide and what the Israelis are doing in Palestine? Am I a conspiracy theorist if I say I should have bodily integrity for myself to decide whether I put something in my body without the state dictating to me? And I think that's a form of censorship. Nobody wants to be labelled. Any of those labels are mentioned. So you don't talk about those topics anymore.
It's not healthy to stop people from voicing opinion, and it's not healthy not to have the proper and right conversations with different pockets of people. But if you push it under and you keep pushing people under, then that result is what you saw, and that's the violence.
I don't think immigration's bad because it makes our economy even better.
What do you think about illegal immigration?
I feel like they need to be doing background checks, if anything.
Is there a limit that we should have at some point to,
Because the thing is, we haven't got enough jobs for how many people are coming into the country.
British people should get more rights than any other person that comes into this country. I think we need more people like Tommy Robinson, people that fighting for their country, and we need more people like that. I think he's doing the greatest job ever.
What are your thoughts on Tommy Robinson?
He has really fed into the far right and the people from the far right. I feel like he knows his audience and he's just riling them up. He has caused a divide. He has caused a divide by getting like sheeps, basically. He's gathered a load of people to just sort of like perpetrate violence.
I've lived through the war of the 20 years of the war on terror and all of that. The people who appeared in the media to represent us Muslims here in the UK during those 20 years were people like Anjam Chowdhury, Omar Bakri. There was a guy with a hook. And the impression they gave to the majority population here was that Muslims are extremists and they're quite intolerant. We Muslims did not elect those people to represent us in the media. People from our communities wrote to the media asking for other representation, but they didn't do it by and large. If you speak to the majority English population, I don't think they voted for Tommy Robinson to represent their views on immigration. And putting somebody like that into the media, giving him the spotlight, not just today, but over the last 10, 15, 10 years, 5 years, what have you, gives the impression to the population that anybody who speaks about immigration is a racist. I think these people are put there by design to give a certain impression to the public, to harbour that divide and conquer thing so the state can continue with its policies and laws that we don't vote for.
I'd not Tommy Robinson any day of the week, I'll be honest.
Well, just straight up you see him, you just run into him?
Not him.
Really?
But no talking, no nonsense.
What is it specifically that you dislike about him so much that you want to...
To be fair, I don't know much on the topic of him. I haven't learned about him.
He's entitled to his opinion as much as I'm entitled to mine, I think. And I think you're going into dangerous territory when you're starting to police these things. We're going about business now to demonise individuals who have an opinion online.
Keir Starmer has said cut down on online crime. Our freedom of speech online will be taken away. So I think it's just another excuse to take away our civil liberties and our rights, basically.
If they'd said, it was a white kid, it would have not sparked any of it. But it was the fact that it was like a black kid from an immigration family, and then it just sparked even like Muslim, Asian attacks, like everything. When you look at the people that are protesting, it's a bunch of like racist, white, like just not very happy. It's hate.
Do you think there's some like normal average people in there as well that kind of get in the mix of the ones who
I think some people think they know what's right and they see it as it's like I know a lot of people that think that like they think the country's going to be overrun. I do think the government I do think they want it. I do. I think they definitely want. They're watching us all just literally go against each other because it's segregation. They want us to be segregated. They want us to hate each other. It's why there's always been scapegoats and they wanted us to hate other countries. It's because it's how you have power. You have fear. Fear is controlled and everything.
What they should have done, all the rioters, we should have made them, put them something on them and made them clean the streets. Strap them up and say, this is your job now. You clean the streets now for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 10 months. Have a bit of fun and have some fun. Whoa, there goes me hatting down. We go and have a bit of fun. Don't forget, you can always make a person smile. So make their day and keep the person smiling. There's too many miserable faces in the world, so keep on smiling, everyone. Clap your hands and don't forget your beat.
That's a beautiful message. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much and stay safe.
You too. Thank you very much. Take care, man.